Well, the ocean economy thrives in the country, accounting for about 3,000 kilometers of the coastline. Eastern Cape alone accounting for 810 or just over 810 kilometers. There's still a dire need for women within the maritime industry. Well, that is why Bumesa today is a program that seeks to address transformation within this male-dominated industry, ensuring that women also get their voices heard and that they become part of this industry. We're going to speak to one of the women who have made it big in the maritime industry, just to find out some of the challenges that might be a hindrance to some women who might want to join the industry. A very good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, ma'am. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Just straight to the point, challenges. I know that, this industry is quite hard to crack, especially for females. What would you highlight as some of the challenges to entering it?
Entering the maritime industry, I think the challenges are already because of the historical views and historical background. It's been dominated by males. Now, for you as a woman to come through, you have to go through the barriers. And I've realized that even if one can say, I've got a qualification, there's still experience that is required for you to make it through the maritime industry. So for women, I think even if one can be aspiring to be in the field, there are quite a number of steps, stages that one has to go through. I can give an example, the practical example that is required in the environment. Where will you get it if you have never been exposed to the sea environment? I mean, there are a lot of women who grow up in their own homes, not having even seen the sea, not even understanding the fact that there is career on its own within the maritime environment. And I can give an example with myself. Coming from Limpopo, having grown up in Limpopo for years, and getting out, working in Transnet, and I realized that there is this other field that I've never came across in my life, and that is how I can say those barriers are really limiting us as women to access and get exposure in the field.
And just obviously, you've highlighted the challenges, but here you are, you've made it in the industry. Just how it has been like for you, and what did you basically do to make it here?
Willing to learn. And when there are opportunities that are put for me, I perform to my best. And that will elevate you as a person automatically. So for me, even if we can say there are blockages, if you are willing to work hard, to move forward, whatever is your passion, you'll end up getting into it. And that is how I survived. Over and above that, working closely with people who have been in the field. And I can tell you, people are there, are available to share the learning, are available to share the experience. It just requires one's dedication and one who's willing to come up and say, I'm here. I'm willing to go an extra mile. I'm willing to learn. And I know that after I've learned, I will contribute greatly to the economy of this country.
And let's talk about now the relaunch. We know that this today is as a relaunch of the program. But what could you say could have been the problem before? What could they do differently in terms of now making sure the sustainability of the program and just generally the importance of programs of this nature?
It's important to start reflecting before we move forward. So I like the question where you say, what could have happened that we now get to a point where we say we are relaunching? It means it was launched before and it never took off, or there were some limitations. And for me, having looked at the work environment, the space in the maritime environment, there are a lot of conflicting demands. As women, we are trying to push to say we want to get there. But also on the other side, there are daily activities, work-related things that we need to step up and make sure that we come to the same level as our male counterparts. So if it didn't take off previously, we've realized that maybe there's something that we need to do differently. But I'm assured now, as we are relaunching these women in the maritime sector in Eastern and Southern Africa, it starts at the top. With our minister, I can say also female in maritime. It's going to be the dominating factor and the leading factor for us women to push through and make sure that we make it succeed. And us as a women, you can see how many we are. We came here in numbers, here in Gqeberha. So to make sure that we relaunch, we take charge, and we say where we failed previously, we're going to make it succeed now. And that is why we are here in full force to make sure that that happens.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. That was just one of the few women that have managed to break through the maritime industry, saying that the challenges for women range from lack of exposure to experience requirement, but saying that a zeal or will to work and study and keep going is what got her this far within the industry. But she has also mentioned that there are ways of combating these challenges by ensuring that the roll out of such programs is smooth, and that women gain as much exposure as possible, and that it is just one of those things that need dedication. She has admitted to a challenge of this industry being male dominated, but she also believes that that does not mean women cannot do it, as she is right here being a living proof of that. But right now, from myself, Anda Nqonji, and colleague Gqeberha, it's back to you in studio.